I want to talk about the connection with psychic abilities, in particular clairsentient, with the water element in astrology. So that would be having strong water, not just your sun, moon, or rising sign, but your overall strongest element. If you have a lot of water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, or a lot of planets in those houses, respectively, the 4th house, the 8th house, or the 12th house, if you have strong Neptune placements, even strong Pluto placements, strong aspects with the moon, there are a lot of different ways to indicate that you have strong water element within your birth chart. Oftentimes, as well, you could not even have that many planets in water. Perhaps you have one planet in water, but it's incredibly powerful. And there's a school of astrology where it talks about like the creator didn't give you any more water in your chart because you wouldn't be able to handle it. So maybe you just have one planet. It's your internal feeling of what the strongest element is for you: air, water, earth, or fire. But I want to speak to the water element in connection to being clairsentient. I feel of all of the psychic abilities and their connection with certain elements in astrology, that this one is the most common like crossover, that people with strong water being our emotions, our intuition, our internal world, our creativity, this element being so strongly connected to the clairsentient psychic ability, because clairsentient is our ability to feel things in our body, to just have a feeling and kind of then this understanding of what's going on for a person, reading the energy in that way through physical sensations in the body. And if I could go back in time and say this to my younger self, or say this to other people that have a strong water element in their birth chart, when I do astrology readings for people, if they have a lot of water, I'm constantly speaking to the importance of understanding that a lot of the things that you're feeling aren't even yours. A lot of the stuff that you're picking up on is not even your shit. And this can be really hard for people that are incredibly sensitive and that have a lot of water energy in their birth chart, because they move through the world with the volume turned all the way up on feeling. They're like psychic sponges, you know? So maybe they sit next to somebody and they're just kind of absorbing their energy, and then they could feel sad, or they could feel upset, or they could feel what that other person sitting next to them is feeling and not even understand why. And so I think it's so vital to have this knowledge, to have this language, to understand this element and its connection with these innate abilities of being, I would say most people that have a lot of water in their chart, that they have the ability to be clairsentient as long as they're connected to the water, you know, as long as they haven't completely turned it off. People can do that. They can, you know, escape and kind of check out and numb themselves. This is the low road of the water element, because they feel things so deeply. So a lot of times the water signs are prone to addiction, in particular Pisces, Scorpio energy too, but even Cancer, you know, they can be prone to drinking, to drugs, to some kind of, you know, sex, gambling, shopping, whatever, but in particular drugs, because it's a quick, easy way to really like alter your mind, your emotional state, and to just kind of numb yourself from the immense energy that you're constantly feeling. But I do feel that if we can learn to work with the water element in a healthy way, and if we can understand this about ourselves, that water beings, that having lots of water in your chart is making you incredibly sensitive to the energy around you, needing to be incredibly mindful of the people that you're around, making sure that you're having ample amount of time alone to kind of decompress and like wring out your psychic sponge that's picked up on all of the energy around you. But I do feel that this element is very deeply connected to being clairsentient and to just getting automatic feelings in your body, probably from a young age, unless if you tried to turn it off or you were told to turn it off, that it comes pretty natural, where you just feel things. You know, you could just be picking up on other people's energy and feel something intensely in your body. Maybe it's like, for me, I would get goosebumps all the time, you know, when something really resonates, like full body, incredibly strong goosebumps, or just crying even, you know, the fact that the water element needs to cry more often. They need to have that release through through water, through literally leaking water from their eyes. They need time to cry. And it always makes me think of back in the past when I first started with astrology. Some astrologers were talking about this group of women, and it's like the water element to a T. It was like this tribe of women that would go from village to village and just cry for their town. They would just mourn. They would just cry the tears that other people weren't able to feel or weren't able to connect with. And that was like their job. That was their medicine. That was their service to their community, was crying and releasing the stored up emotions that were in that certain area. And so if you have strong water in your chart and you feel what I'm saying, then I would look into the psychic abilities and look into being, the definition of clairsentient and how to work with that and how to, develop and cultivate that ability, and to understand that so much of the stuff that you're picking up on is probably not even yours. And your mission in this lifetime is to let it move through you, to not take it and hold on to it and turn it inward and like think that there's something wrong with you, but to just understand that you have this gift of being incredibly sensitive, and you must learn boundaries, right? We must learn energetic boundaries, physical boundaries. For the water element, it is so important. It doesn't come natural to them, right? It's water. It doesn't have boundaries. It doesn't have a structure. It just flows wherever. That's why earth and water go well together. Earth is the container for water to flow within. And I would also, another piece of advice would be to just really trust what you're feeling, you might have to move through this period of time where you're getting clear on what is intuition and what is like fear-based messages, understanding the difference, because with the fear there can be a lot of anxiety and more like mental energy, but with the intuition and the feelings that just like come through the body, needing to trust that and to honor that, and to know and not needing any more of an explanation as to why you don't want to do something or why there's somebody that you don't want to be around. It's trusting how you feel, knowing that your body already knows, your body has those answers, and not to disregard this immense like psychic gift. It's like a built-in psychic gift that you have. If you have strong water element, that clairsentient psychic ability, I would just do research on it. I would play in that area. I would try to cultivate, that ability even more, so that it can lead you throughout your life, that you can listen to that. You can develop a deeper relationship with that, and you can move from that place.